Hello, everybody. Why is that up there? That's weird. Hello. Welcome to another Tina's Tiny Tuesdays. Today I'm going to be painting some animals and some other things. I've been having a lot of technical. Okay, that's funny. While I was muted, I was trying to explain about some technical difficulties I've been having today, and then I noticed that I'm muted. So, ha ha ha, he he he. Oh, I did not move this painting back. Okay, we're just gonna pretend like there's a painting here today. But hello, everyone. Yeah, I've been having issues with my computer for like the last half hour. I've been trying to get the stream together and things have just not been going very well. But now we're here and we're gonna make art. I still can't get these two cameras in sync because obviously you can see on the other screen that my hands are not moving like how they should be moving. So when I actually go to be painting, it will just be my tiny little avatar. I'm sorry that you guys will be disappointed and you can't just stare at my gorgeous, gorgeous face the whole time. But this past weekend, I was at Comic-Con. I had a wonderful time. It was so nice seeing people who have been buying from me for years come back and tell me how much they like what they already have or get new things, and so that was really fun and that was really special. And it was so nice, and there were a couple families that came back that I remembered from the previous year, and it was nice to talk to them again and talk to people about art, people that didn't know my work, and talking about my art and my process and how long I've been making art and doing all this. So that was real cruel gruel, guys, great gruel. That was cool. It was great to see people again, and it was a nice weekend, another way. It was a profitable weekend, so I'm happy about that. I'm also excited about the future and doing more shows and other things to that nature. But sold a lot of paintings. Now I gotta make a lot more paintings to keep that inventory up, guys. This is a never-ending train of tiny artwork. But there were a couple things that some people were like, "Oh, do you have this? Do you have this?" And I was like, "No, I don't." And so they were like, "You should, like there was this one girl that was like, 'Do you have any red pandas?' And I was like, 'No, I don't, but I should make some.' And she was like, 'It's kind of sad that you don't have any red pandas.' And I'm just like, kids are so honest. Kids are so honest. But that's gonna be the first thing I'm gonna paint today, is a red panda, because the little girl was just like, 'Where's the red pandas?' I'm like, I don't have any. But yeah, I think I put my tiny canvases like behind my computer. Yes, I did. So got a fresh pack, a fresh 6-pack. So we're gonna be making some animals and probably some other scenery and stuff too, because there were people that things that people suggested. I was like, dang, I should make more of that. So first things first, we're gonna be making a red panda. And I know the last thing I painted, if you're a regular, the last thing I painted was not the thing from Bigger, but my computer was struggling so hard just to get Streamlabs to open correctly. I was like, I'm not about to try and drag and drop the correct files in order to get everything 100% accurate. But I can show you guys, because I did make Baldur's Gate characters last time. This isn't all three. I didn't paint all 4 of these last time, but so it doesn't look weird with the screen. But I made Karlach. I made Karlach and Shadowheart on stream, and then I made Will on like a TikTok stream afterwards. So you guys can kind of see them. Maybe guys. With the Okay, that's weird. But anyway, I found this really cute reference photo for a red panda sitting in a tree. And so that's what we're gonna be doing first. I'm just keeping the shapes very looser right now, because there's gonna be more detail with the bark and whatnot, but I just kind of want to keep it very generic as for right now. I'm gonna, let's get some green, because there are leaves in this photo. Come on. I'm trying to use up, because I have like 4 different bottles of green that have like a little bit, or just varying amounts, and so I'm trying to use up this one so I can finally throw it away. But I'm just gonna go in with my dirty brush, make some kind of leaf shapes. Okay, the camera is lagging, so I'm just gonna go to this other point of view so that the camera I don't know if my computer's having memory issues or what it is, but I'll look into some diagnostics or something later on and try to pinpoint exactly what is going on with my computer and the Streamlabs app, because I've been having a lot of trouble with it. Other things, not so much, but I've mainly just been doing things that really don't require a whole lot of computing power lately. Because I was busy this past week just preparing for Comic-Con and making sure I had enough inventory and taking care of inventory and making sure certain things are printed and other things, it's been a lot of... I haven't been on my computer much, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if there is an issue, I wouldn't really know off the top of my head. But... Hello, Super Pants. We. Yeah, we of three wees. Hi, hello. How you doing today? I'm gonna make some more distinct leaf shapes. I'm also just gonna move the camera a little bit to the left. Got a couple of leaves and stuff like that. Now we're going to start painting in our red panda. I'm gonna use no. What is this? Yeah, this might be burnt umber. No. This is reddish brown, whose name I am forgetting for some reason. I'm gonna use that as the base for its head. I think it might be burnt sienna. That might be the name of the shade. Yeah, because this is burnt umber, this is burnt sienna. Okay. I remembered, guys. I remembered. Or like half its body is black, but I'm just kind of sketching some stuff and making sure I get the form of the body right. And its tail is kind of curled up. It's got like this dark black fur, but there's like also like a hint of blue in there. So we've got some basic stuff in for the body. I'm gonna put in some, put in his ears. And parts of its fur is lighter around its face. So just throwing in some other colors to make its face a little bit rounder. Add to the cuteness factor, but also, you know, just need to get the anatomy right. Get my smaller brushes, and I'm gonna zoom in for you guys so you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. Really get in those face details. I'm gonna get some yellow. I'm gonna mix it with this light brown so I can do some fur details. Hey, Katrina. getting a tiny bit sleepy. Let me grab a coffee real quick. Whew. Hashtag not sponsored. The mocha ones aren't bad. I think I like the other ones. Usually I try not to like need to depend on coffee, but sorry, that was a really long yawn. Try not to depend on coffee, but I woke up. I kept waking up last night, and so my sleep is a little jacked up. Mocha is delicious. I think I like the vanilla one better. But like generally speaking, I like a mocha coffee better. But I like the vanilla, you know, cold brew, whatever, frappuccinos. And sometimes when painting animals, just a quick tip, less is more. If you're not doing like a super duper hyper realistic ultra high definition painting, you can just sort of give the impression that something has a lot of fur or something, you know? You don't have to do like every single strand of hair. You don't have to do too much. Just give the impression that something is there and then continue on with the rest of the piece. Do some highlights, do some shadows, but you don't have to have, you know, super duper every tiny piece of fur, every slight variation that there could possibly be. You don't have to do all that. You can if you want. It's completely up to the individual and up to the artist and their style. But I find, especially when doing small things like this. You know, I sell them at a certain price point, you know. You know, I could raise the price and spend like 1,000 years on a 2-inch canvas and charge $1,000,000 for it or whatever, but that's just not me. That's not me. But I sell these at a certain price point. Other certain paintings, like portraits, I'll put them in like a print or like a compilation or something. But for animals and things like that, and I put them in like a print or a compilation or something like that. So it's like, you know, if I end up spending like 2 hours on a face portrait, whereas if it was an animal in that same amount of time, or you know, in 2 hours I could have painted like 5 animals or something like that, then you know, I'm not getting the same amount of value. And so yeah, you just have to find ways so that you're getting paid what you think you're worth. But with animals and fur and hair, you don't have to do every strand unless you want to. Unless you want to be one of those high definition artists, you totally can if you want, and you can charge whatever you want, and you know, people are willing to pay for what they're willing to pay for. But for something like this, if I were to offer my advice, to just give the impression so that people can see the details and their brains can fill in extra details if need be, you know? You want to be as accurate as you can without having to break the bank. Oh, Katrina said, I can't think of any scenario where I would choose vanilla over chocolate. No scenario, Katrina? Absolutely no scenario where you would choose vanilla over chocolate? None whatsoever? Okay. I'm gonna leave that alone. What'd you think I was talking about, Katrina? What'd you think I was talking about? Hello, Zamboni. How you doing today? Nearly done with this red panda. I mean, it needs eyeballs, of course, but it definitely needs eyeballs. You know, I wonder if I can. I wonder if it'll let me. Oh, wow. It was not supposed to be that big, but at least it let me add it at this point, because before it was not letting me. It was just bothering me that it was the wrong streams art. But here she is. There's a good old Shadowheart. And then, I also made Karlach. I don't have as great as a photo for Karlach, but here she is. It's gonna take over the screen. It's a little desaturated because of all the lights, but yeah, last stream's art. It is now accurate. There we go. Just gotta hide the dinosaur. There. Back to pandas, everybody. Don't give me that Christina face. We all know LOL. What do you mean by Christina face? I can offer you a scenario where it's better to have vanilla ice cream than chocolate. When sprinkles is your topping. Okay. Let me break it down. Because like it's fine. Okay. It's fine if chocolate is your base, if you have other things that are going to enhance the chocolate, or if you just want chocolate, right? But if you have chocolate and brownie, chocolate and cookie dough, chocolate and nuts, chocolate and caramel, something like that, absolutely fine. But if if you have to get sprinkles as a topping, you need vanilla as your base, because there's just something about the chocolate ice cream with the sprinkles, like it doesn't, it doesn't mesh well all the way, you get what I'm saying? Like it's not a cohesive thing. Now you can very well have vanilla ice cream with chocolate sauce and sprinkles. I do it all the time. However, if there's too much chocolate, it will not pair well with the sprinkles. And I know you don't care about sprinkles, Katrina. I know I'm the only person in the family that is really like, oh, let me get some sprinkles on that ice cream. I know that's just me. All right. However, vanilla is a better base with sprinkles. Now, other ice cream toppings, other things, sure, chocolate would probably be better. However, not everybody has a good chocolate. It's hard to mess up vanilla, It's hard to mess up and not have a good vanilla. I've had some okay chocolate I've had some subpar chocolate, but vanilla, it's like, okay, it's vanilla. It just, it is what it is. Just putting that out there. Just putting that out there. But again, I know you don't care for sprinkles. I'm just saying that is one scenario where vanilla would be better. Try a vegetable. I had spinach this week. Don't come for me, Zamboni. Well, technically it was Saturday, but within this past 7 days, I've had a vegetable. Okay. Nope, I also had onions, okay? Okay, I've had onions this past week, okay? Onions and peppers. So, there are vegetables that I will consume in certain situations. Just not most situations. When I went to the grocery store earlier today, I was so excited to get like one of those pre-cut things of like apples and grapes. I was just thinking about how I'm about to have a grand old time just chomping on some like gala apples and some purple grapes, right? Because I didn't want to like get like a full thing of apples and full things of grapes because it's just like I'm not gonna eat all that, right? But then I get to the checkout line, I see that I picked up one that had like the package was just like pre-opened, and then there was someone behind me in the line, so I couldn't just like step out and then go just go get a thing of apples. And it's not like I had like someone that could watch the cart and just pay for like I was by myself, and I was just like, dang, I'm about to miss out on these apples because they was open, and it was just like I'm not about to just be eating the open slice of sliced apples because who knows who was in it before. More of the story, check your packaging before you go to the checkout line. But now I ain't got no apples, and I'm thinking about just going back to the store after the stream so I can get myself some apples. Because I was really excited about it. I know apples aren't a vegetable, but I'm just throwing it out there that I do consume food that is not meat and cheese. A little red giraffe, a shark, and a jellyfish. People are always looking for those three things. I don't know why, but why? But I should just keep a constant rotation of animals going. Like I did have quite a few animals. I had a lot of aquatic things. A lot of aquatic things, and now it's just like I got nothing. Not really, but I did sell a lot of animals while I was there at Comic-Con, which is nice, you know. It's nice when I sell things at Comic-Con, or when I get notification that stock depleted from Squarespace and other things. So it feels nice. And I am thinking about, considering making some animals that I'll have prints for, so I don't have to like keep remaking a giraffe or keep remaking a shark, stuff like that. But I do enjoy painting animals from like different angles or different scenery, so it's or like painting where it's animals where it's like a mom and a child, stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know what's the correct approach. I don't think there's any wrong approach. I'm just trying to consider what's the most profitable one, I guess. While I'm thinking about it, my blow dryer is not over here, so I'm just gonna have to do some layering. Gonna do a little wet into wet today, guys. Little Bob Ross classic. I should paint more horses, though. What vegetable was it that you ate 2 weeks ago? What are you talking about? I said I had spinach on Saturday. Spinach and onions and peppers. If you're talking about 2 weeks ago. Are you trying to ask me what I don't remember what I ate 2 weeks ago. carrots sometimes. Like, they're okay. I did make homemade chicken noodle soup. That was maybe about 3 weeks ago. That had like carrots and, you know, other stuff in it. No, oh, you thought I said it was 2 weeks ago. No, it was 2 days ago. 3 days ago. Saturday. It was Saturday. You didn't entirely hear what I said. Okay. No, I had a nice salad. Cause at Motor City Comic Con, it's like the only show that I go to that does this, but they have like a green room, you know, kind of like a, they have like a side like lunch area specifically for like exhibitors and press. So if you're like if you have a booth like Artist Alley, or if you're working, you know, with like CBS or somebody else. Detroit 52 or whatever. There's like a little free lunch area that you get access to, and they have like a salad bar, a nacho bar, and then they'll have like a dessert table too. The dessert table is mostly just like muffins and brownies, that type of stuff, and like some candy bars, but the brownies are good. But it's like the only convention that is like, oh, you're paying to be here and sell things? Here's free food if you want it. All the other shows that I've gone to, you know, you just had to pay for food like a normal scrub. You excited for D&D tonight? Eat more veggies. I consume vegetables in liquid form. a lot of vegetables. It's not a taste thing, it's a texture thing. Yeah, there's just like a lot of foods I won't eat because of the texture. Like, I might genuinely enjoy the flavor, but the way it fills my mouth, I'm just like, I can't do this. Are you gonna show up? I'm gonna be there. Not 2 hours late this time. Maybe 1 hour late. Try not to die before I get there. So 2 hours later, got it. I said 1 hour. Maybe not even a full hour. I did come up with a neat little backup character if something ever happens to Noelle, and I'm like, dang. Oh, so 3 hours late. Got it. Yeah, I'll be 4 hours late. I'm just gonna show up right when you guys are saying goodnight. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna be like, wait, I have a million questions for each one of your characters. You guys can't go to sleep yet. But I don't know. Maybe I'll just use that character later on down the line. I don't know. Because Noelle, she's fine. I like her. uh, I like her. There's certain things about her that you guys don't know yet that make me really happy. But Noelle is great for now because I can just pop in late and just you pop out of the sword and be like, so what's going on? Who are we fighting? You know, ideally I wouldn't have to show up late almost every time, but that's the way my life is right now. Did you have fun playing Minecraft Pokemon last night? I'm glad you think that. I'm glad that you think Noelle is fun. It's gonna be exciting for you guys to learn more things about her. I guess also for her to learn more things about herself, considering the fact that she has amnesia. I kind of think I want to put Cassius on the back burner. Oh, really? Everybody get new characters. Except for, Clay and, Grub. A whole new set of lightning lads. What are you thinking of playing as? Yeah, playing Magic Man low level is kind of boring. What, you thinking of being a non-magic person? Being like a fighter or a ranger? What you thinking about? Thought about doing monk before, but I don't know. I could just be bored with 5e's mechanics. It could. That could be it. I don't know. How dare you suggest ranger? I don't know what you're thinking about, man. I'm not a mind reader. Look, I am very much a put the fries in the bag type of player. I want to do something that's heavy damage and I don't have to come up with some sort of complicated plan for it. I'm a button masher at heart, okay? I'm here for the RP. I'm here for the story. Yes, I know you're a barbarian, man. They're just so uncomplicated, you know? You go in with your big weapon, you get mad, and you do damage. And then that's your turn. Sometimes there's extra features or whatnot, but, you know, it's so simple. I did like playing Magus as Talila. Rest in peace. I did enjoy Talila very much. But even then, with Talila, there were some features that I just did not use until I'm just like, okay, she's angry now. We're dumping 10 Magus points into this attack. It's rolling 10 2d8, whatever's it was, an extra 2d8 per attack or something like that. And I was like, okay, let's go, let's go. It was crazy busted. I miss it so much. And then at higher levels, all the crazy other features that you could pick from. Like, oh, I'm gonna use 2... It was Arcana points, it wasn't Magus points. I'm gonna use 2 Arcana points to add my intelligence modifier to all of my damage rolls for the next 10 minutes or whatever it was. And it's like, okay, so all my damage has a +3 to it. Oh, I'm gonna use 1 Arcana point and have an extra 3 AC. It was just a bunch of random crap you could choose from. It's like, yes, I'll have a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, a little bit of this. I was looking through barbarian stuff while I was when I was coming up with this character that I won't say too much about just in case I actually do end up playing her. But I saw the Path of the Giant Berserker thing under barbarian, and I was just like, this sounds like a lot of fun. At like 10th level, you can use a bonus action to like throw your teammates or like throw like an enemy like super far, like either throw an enemy for damage or like throw a teammate at for safety, because your size becomes large when you're angry. I don't know, maybe I didn't put enough into Cassius, it just feels a bit stale, there's no crunch to him, nor really to grow. Aww. Well, what's his motivation besides just, like, power and learning new spells? Like, what gets him up in the morning as an undead? I guess you could say he needs to become nicer and less fantasy racist. That is something to work on. That is definitely something to work on. I'm calling people clankers and knife ears and stuff like that. But besides power and racism, what gets him up in the morning? I was talking to Pangu. We were talking about our processes for like going through characters and like coming up with backstories and whatnot, and I was just like, he's like, I don't know, the way I do things is a little schizo, and I was like, I feel like the way I do things is worse, because I pick a trauma and then build a character around it. Their class, their race, I don't care about any of that. What makes them afraid? And then I just build a personality around this one broken part of their psyche. The only one who kind of wasn't like that was Luffy, because I was just like, I wanna be a cleric. And then, like, her having a gambling addiction was like a last minute addition. Because I was just like, she needs a flaw. Gambling, there we go. Of course, I feel like I didn't go far enough with that as I could have. But... he really is just a Wan Shi Tong clone, dude. Just wants to collect knowledge and store it and maintain it. A sage. Oh, is that the bird from Avatar? Was that his name? He just wants to collect knowledge. Maintain it. Okay. Well... He literally is just that owl. Okay. So, okay. If he just wants knowledge and stuff, is he motivated by helping people at all? Like, I know he's like kill mercenary, but that's, you know, like that's his profession. But if someone was like, hey, I have a problem, I need you to research stuff, would he be like, there was a secret, but that doesn't seem to be a thing anymore. I'd have to ask Regina about a plot element. Okay. It is getting close to 4 o'clock, but I started the half hour late. I do want to make a third painting. These giraffes, they're nearly done. Just adding some more shading and some spots. That's basically it. Yeah, but if someone was like, hey, I have a problem, can you help me research this? So would that motivate him? is he not that, you know, helpful? He's a very neutral character. He has to be able to gain something for him to want to do something. Okay. Okay. I'll sit on that then. I'm trying to like think of ways to help you with your problem without like metagaming. Because there is a problem that Noelle has. I forgot her name. I was about to call her Hanul. I'm just like, that's not right. There's a problem that Noelle has that she does need help with, but at this point, you know, she barely knows any of you. I don't think she would just be like, hey, Cassius, Mr. calling me knife ears and saying all these racist things. I need your help. You know? I don't think she'd do that. I mean, she might ask Clay for help because he's been the nicest to her, but if it would lead to him learning something new, he would possibly do it. Okay. Well, we'll see how things go tonight, and I don't know. Hanula's on vacation. Okay, so we got a a red panda, some giraffes. I think that's cute, a little baby and mama. Little snapshot. Okay. At least it doesn't color her toots. I mean, it's very 1950s detective feeling. If he called her like Screwball Dame or something like that, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's all the TV I used to watch. Because I used to be obsessed with the Twilight Zone, and anytime like a woman was like a little bit hysterical, they'd call her like a Screwball Dame, and I'm just like, please, someone call me a Screwball Dame. Please. Please. I'm begging you. Okay, so got a giraffe, got a red panda. I'm trying to think of something else that people asked me about while I was at Comic-Con. Like another, I don't know. I might just let's look at water animals. And literally type water animals into Google instead of like sea creatures or, you know, something like that. Water animals. It's been a while since I painted a turtle. From now on, he'll call her Knife. It's short for knife ears. Oh, because she's a knife. She's a sword, thank you very much. She's trapped in a sword, not a knife. blue ice sword. Okay. A hippo. I guess I could paint a hippo. I did have a hippo that sold. I'm pretty sure. Let me check my notes from Comic-Con. Yep, I had a hippo and it sold. Maybe I'll do that next time, because I like the reference photo that I have for this turtle. Swords or knives? Okay. Okay, swords or knives. I will put a hippo on my list of things to paint. If you don't believe me, look up a messer. I mean, I don't have to believe you. That's not the thing. It's just that, I mean, if you call her a knife, she'd be like, what? Is this another knife-ears joke? Also want to know why my name is Cassius? Yes. Why is your name Cassius? Tell me all about it. Tell me your backstory out of character, and then tell me it in character again later today. because he's Roman. What do you mean? I'm not obsessed with the Roman Empire, so if he's like named after like an ancient Rome, yeah, you're gonna have to explain more than that. I'm not a Roman Empire girly. Man, I miss Misha. She was so unhinged. Miss that weird turtle geologist lady. I wanted his name to reflect his being born from an ancient civilization. Okay. There's a very specific reason why I named Noelle Noelle, but I can't tell you out of character. That's something. Cassius Gracio Curio. That's a good name. Sounds grand. Hero sounded like curiosity, so I went with that. Yeah. I know why. It's because it's an anagram for Leon. Haha, no. Nope, got nothing to do with Leon. The thought literally never crossed my mind. Until Pengu brought it up that one time and I was just like, oh. No, nothing. Nothing to do with that. Turtle's nearly done. I mean, he doesn't have a face, but I feel like a lot of the shell parts are pretty much in there, you know? Let's give him a face. How do you feel about Asterion, Zamboni? In Baldur's Gate? Looks like me. Katrina going back to the sprinkles like, okay, hold on. Let me read this. Okay. Just got back from a meeting. Sprinkles doesn't taste like anything, and if they did taste chocolate, then that would be the only exception to actually needing sprinkles. Okay, first of all, Katrina, sprinkles do taste like something. Okay. They taste like red 40. Yellow. Okay, there's clearly like a dye taste to them, just like there's like a dye taste to the coating of the M&Ms. They're sugar, right? So there's the sugar aspect, there's the dye aspect, but there are some sprinkles that are made like with more that are more like powder sugar based, and there are other sprinkles that are more like sugar based. And so there's different textures for different sprinkles and stuff like that. So you're wrong. They do have a flavor. They do have a taste. And I know you only care about you don't care about sprinkles at all. I'm just saying, if there was a reason for needing a vanilla base for ice cream or a vanilla base thing instead of a chocolate base thing, it would be because you were to if sprinkles were involved. Because I agree that chocolate ice cream, it's a great ice cream flavor. It's nice, but in most cases, in most things, you know, it's just like if I'm going to get ice cream, it's going to be a vanilla ice cream and then with like chocolate additives, whether you're saying, oh Lord. Yes, I'm going back. Get right, she brought it back up, so I'm going back to the sprinkle thing. But like I said before, I've never had a bad tasting. I don't think I've ever had a bad tasting vanilla. I've had bad tasting chocolate ice creams before. So, just to be safe, vanilla is my base. Vanilla is my choice. You haven't had sprinkles in a long time? I got sprinkles in my cabinet right now. About 3 different kinds. I'm just saying, if you were to get a base for an ice cream, the reason to have vanilla over chocolate is sprinkles. I'm just advising you as someone who is a chocolate chooser. But I know you don't care about sprinkles. Oh, but I don't know if you heard me, Samboni, but how do you feel about Asterion? Because you know me, I like a good vampire or whatever, vampire story, whatever. However, I don't always like how much fervor there is with the fandom around Asterion, because I feel like the Asterion hype overshadows some of the other good characters in the game. Even like watching like shorts and other things that Larian would put out like for the characters, I feel like a lot of things end up becoming more and more Asterion focused, and I'm just like Will and Karlach are right there, guys. Like, their storylines are a lot more compelling than just I've been abused by a vampire for 200 years, you know? And someone made the point earlier today that everyone else's background stories is a lot more impactful to the main storyline, but Asterian's is just sort of, you know, if he wasn't there in the story, the storyline would be exactly the same. Yeah, I know you haven't beaten the game, but yeah, I don't. At first, I was like, "Oh, vampire," but then I was like, "He's way too feminine for me." Okay, but then I was like, "Oh, he's passing all the perception checks I always fail. Keep him." Oh gosh, he's better at lockpicking than I am. I'm never sending you away. And then I was like, oh, party extender mod? I've always got everybody. He is, but yeah, he's the most popular, and I'm just like, come on, I'm just like, come on, guys. Like, he's the most popular, but there's, I don't, like, Will's and Karlach's stories are more impactful to the story. I don't think people would like him as much if he wasn't a vampire now. That's a very good point, and I think the answer is no. I don't think they would care as much if there wasn't that whole vampire fervor around him. Then I don't think people would care as much. Or if he wasn't like a pale vampire elf. I felt like if he was a different race, I don't think people would care about him as much. I didn't really care about him. Like, I saw he was a vampire or whatever. D would send me edits of him on TikTok, and I'm just like, like, I don't know. And then I played the game, and I'm just like, forget Astarion. Gale. Like, I went in thinking, like, if I was gonna choose anyone, then, like, oh, you know, Vampire Man. But then it was just like, this tragic magic nerd right in front of my face? Okay. This tragic magic nerd that has Mr. Darcy tendencies? Okay. I will follow you to the ends of the earth. And keep you from exploding yourself. I think he's a good boy. I know my D would like Astarion. The whole twink vampire toxic boyfriend thing is right up her alley. You know, I don't know if she... You liking me liking Gale is very predictable. What are you talking about? No, it's very on brand for me. You being a Karlach fan is on brand for you as well. A big muscle mommy. That's you, dude. I could also see you picking Shadowheart because of, you know, your thing for goth girls, but just need to make this like a slight, very slight. I knew I saw Shadowheart in your thumbnail. Yes, yes, not Alana 747. That is Shadowheart. Okay, Katrina said sprinkles have the same coating as M&M's. Are you one of those people that think they taste different? They just taste like chocolate with a shell. The shells taste different. The dye tastes different, Katrina. M&M's.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They all taste the same.
No, they don't. Somebody said he's very much like Leanna. He has the hair of the guys that you like. Karlach is my fave because of how she acts. She's like, she's a sweetheart, yeah. She's a sweetheart, she's protective. No. I was talking about a video game character. I was replying to a comment. But you are very protective and sweet sometimes, Gina. Karlach got the I'm direct and funny personality tied with a good moral compass. Yeah, she does. It's sad that she gets screwed over. I mean, it depends on your choices too, because there is a way for her not to. I thought going in that I would like Sharp more, but I don't know. Yeah. I didn't do Shadowheart's full storyline. She was the only one whose storyline I did not complete. Well, of the main ones, I killed Minthara because I didn't know that you could keep her. I got Jaheira. I did not find Minsc until the very end when I was like about to go to the boss fight, and then I was like, I'm not dealing with this right now. I'm not about to try and convince him to join me. It is what it is. I'll just, maybe the next round I'll find Minsc and get him earlier. Maybe it's because she can't hit the broadside of a barn in the beginning and how standoffish she is threw me off. Yeah, she's very standoffish. Like, everyone else is like, we're in this together, we gotta figure this out. And she's just like, Lady of Sorrows. Like, every 5 seconds, like, oh my gosh, Shadowheart, calm down. But but when we actually continue our run, I'll continue Shadowheart's storyline. and see if I like her a little bit more. But yeah, these were our paintings for today. Thank you to everybody who was watching, whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your busy lives to watch me paint things. Yeah, I like these 3 paintings. I think they're cute. And I think people will like them as well. If you guys want to check out other artwork I've made, it's tinastextportraits.com. I will be live on Thursday as well if you guys want to check me out again. But yeah, I've got some other stuff to do, but I will catch all of you later. Thank you guys again so much for spending time with me while I make crap. But these will be available on my site within like the next hour or two, if anybody that's watching is curious. But thank you guys, and thank you to those who are gonna watch this back on